The plot has thickened today around the Marcus Rashford situation and whether he's staying or leaving Manchester United. We're going to sift through the crap, of which there is plenty of, through the PR, and let's get down to the real stuff that's happening. We have multiple, and I mean multiple sources talking about Marcus Rashford's situation tonight. We have others to get through as well in terms of Manchester United playing staff and what's going on at the football club. If you didn't catch up with the transfer show earlier on, we've done a quick update on everything that's going around Manchester United. We'll touch on some little bits in that at the end of the show just to recap everybody, but my word, like when I talk about multiple sources, I mean like 6 or 7 different angles on what's happening with Marcus Rashford. We've got a lot to get through, everybody. And get your comments in the comments section now if you are live. If you are not live and you're catching up later tonight because you're busy or doing whatever back at work, then do get your comments in the comments section below. Make sure you have give the video a like as well. I want to get, do you know what, let's just say it right now. Get me over 500 likes on this show. That's all I want. The rest of that, I just want you to be subscribed and get your comments in, get involved in the conversation. This is what it's all about. We've got plenty to get through, like I said, so let's get cracking without delay. And yeah, when I talk about PR, Marcus Rashford comes to mind. When I talk about PR, Marcus Rashford and Manchester United, now there's a cocktail that will blow your head off in terms of volume. My God, we are the masters at it. And I tell you what, if there was one player that's got PR down to an absolute fine art, it's Mr. Marcus Rashford. In it just, honestly, like I'm going to read out some of the stuff from this. I've got pages here in front of me about what's going on today. So, Rashford, first of all, like the title says there, I've seen everybody else talking about the transfer situation and everything that's going on. We're going to get into that, but this is what hits hard with me. This is what I don't like. This is what I feel is going wrong at our football club, and this is the PR side of things, which I think is really having an effect on what Manchester United fans are looking at and what they're actually, what they're actually thinking. And I'm just going to read into it right now. And this comes as a report from Alex Crook from TalkSports. And it's quite damning, actually, on this. Because the other day, Marcus Rashford went to social media to sort of quash all rumours around him looking at new agencies to try and fast-track his move away from Manchester United. I haven't gone to them lengths to try and manipulate a move away from the football club. All of that jargon. Don't care. Really don't care. Performances on the pitch, Ruben Amorim leaving you out the side. That's all I really care about. But this has come out, which definitely switched me on to the situation anyway. Alex Crook on Marcus Rashford saying he has not spoken to any agencies regarding a transfer. I think he has linked up several agencies, including CAA Stella, to negotiate a move away. He has been represented by his brother Dwayne Maynard. I think if there is any move, whoever does the deal, Maynard is certainly going to want to be a big part of it. Stella is one of the biggest agencies in the country, so while Rashford himself may have not spoken to Stella, I have had it on good authority that the people acting on his behalf have had those conversations. That for me just says straight away everything, and you know what? Everything that is going on right now, everything that's happened around the situation with Marcus Rashford, everything that has been said from him, from Amorim, from the football club, from all of the media outlets and everyone that has been reporting on the situation that we've covered and we've gone into detail on, it has been one of Marcus Rashford has made it clear he wants to leave Manchester United. That's all we needed to know. There's nothing else to be said, really. And we knew that Manchester United were going to go down the right avenues to try and source out a buyer for Marcus Rashford. Earlier on today, we spoke about PSG and Dortmund. The PSG one, from what Ben Jacobs has been saying today, we have got more information on that at the moment. But just to break it down, like Rashford's PR is not kidding anybody. People will find out because agencies talk. Agencies have to talk because they have to sell the player. So you cannot hide it. Don't come out and say anything. You know what? Just perform. Stop talking, start walking. That's all that matters. Nothing else. And that's already been done. So really, we all know where we stand. And you're making it worse. And you know what? I'm not even going to blame Marcus Rashford here. I'm not even going to throw this at him. He's come out and said what he thinks he should say. But really, like I've said all of the time before, it isn't just Marcus. It's everyone around him. Ruben Amorim said it, other managers have said it, Andy Mitten has talked about the problems that they've had in the past in every other manager at Manchester United. It's not him, it's his advisors, it's people around him. Lo and behold, people around Marcus Rashford or his representatives, I've been told, are definitely looking to move agencies around to try and manipulate a move away from Manchester United. Honestly, Marcus, just don't speak. Don't speak or change the people that are looking after you so they don't actually trip you up and make you look like an absolute fool. Because I'm actually not blaming him on this one. But you all know my stance with Marcus Rashford. I think that his life is being run by other people. And that's just how it looks like from the outside. And when you have got someone coming out, and this is in the reports today from Chris Wheeler in the Daily Mail as well, someone actually coming out and saying, and this is reportedly coming from Marcus Rashford's camp, that he wants to get back in that England side. He wants to be part of Thomas Tuchel's team going into the World Cup. If you want to be part of Thomas Tuchel's team and you want to be part of probably what is going to be one of the biggest World Cups in history, with what Donald Trump is pumping in fund-wise to FIFA for this World Cup, which is astronomical in reports that I've read before, then I think you're going to have to be playing football for one. Yeah, the manager's already come out and said that anybody who is going to train is going to train hard and give everything and have the right personality, the right attitude to everything that he wants. You're definitely going to be in the matchday squad. And he's missed 5. Well, he got into the 5th one, but we knew he wasn't going to get on the pitch. He was basically there because we didn't have anyone else to put on the bench, even though I thought we should have put youngsters on the bench just to make a point. But still, he was sat there, didn't get anywhere near the game. I think Ruben Amorim has made it very clear that Marcus Rashford isn't giving anywhere near enough and isn't giving anything or anywhere near as much as the other players in this squad. Otherwise, we can all say that he's a man of his word and he has said everything as it is so far. Ruben Amorim, Rashford would be part of Manchester United's squad. So this coming out and this basically outing Rashford's people again and making him look like a fool is just typical of how the PR sometimes trips itself up because there's that much of it at Manchester United, and definitely with some high-profile players. I mean, good God, they couldn't have got this one any worse, could they? Or any more, that's just what's the right word I'm thinking of, or made themselves look any more stupid in what's going on right now. No one's being kidded by anything that any PR from any player, not just Marcus Rashford or anything at the football club, no one gives a toss anymore because the club is in the pits. All we're dealing with right now are facts, hard facts of the worst team in Manchester United's history pretty much in terms of effort and application, and the league table to back it up. The finances in the pits, the Glazers laughing at us having leached all of the money out, and the new ownership model that's come in really struggling, if not failing right now to deal with the situation that we've got. We are a mess. And you cannot hide anything or change anyone's opinion around from what they're actually watching. It's like I always said, the eye test is the one true test. The eye test tells you everything. You can't ignore what you're seeing. And that's why so many people had an opinion on what I filmed in the warm-up in that clip that I put out on all social media. I think it's close to like 4 million views right now. Just on a little short and a little clip of what was going on. I just clipped it up to what I was saying in my match vlog after the Newcastle game. But that's where people are actually at. That's what people want to see. They want to see reaction. They want to see action. They want to see these players giving a shit. And when they don't see it, nothing that's said in the media, nothing that's said by any representative of that player is going to count for jack. It's not. They don't care. It's gone so far. I don't think these players within this bubble that they've created for themselves, a protective bubble, now the club are even out in these players. Even the PR stunts from their representatives and things are now realising, I think, that they cannot carry on this way. And look, there's loads of news to get into right now regarding Rashford and where he's going. There's tons of reports to get through, so I'm going to get into that now. But I just want to get your opinions on this report right now. Were you surprised that this came out? Were you surprised that Marcus Rashford's people have actually tried to spin this PR and it's backfired on them. I don't think anybody is. I really don't. We have over 100 likes already in the room. We're not even 10 minutes in. 1,100 people watching right now. Get them likes in. Make sure you've subscribed as well, everybody. We're not far away from that 69,000 mark. On the road to 70k, like we said, everyone. Get subscribing. Make sure you've liked the video. Let's get into some chat. First of all, let's get into the super chats and members' comments. He figured out nobody wants him, says the Honest Tiger in a super chat. Cheers, mate. Gifting a membership as well. Jim has renewed his membership at the same time. Happy New Year. I'm sick of Rashford talk. Just go. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I'm going to upset you because there's loads of it today. Absolutely loads of it. Let's see what else we've got in here. Anthony says Rashford needs to get a hold of his PR. It's doing him no favours at all. As soon as he said he wants a new challenge, that was it for him and Manchester United. He has to go now. No second chances. Hi, Adam. It will be a serious case of hallelujah when Rashford has finally gone out of the door. Back door, he says as well. Of all the important things that are going on at United, I am completely fed up with this. And I don't think you're alone with that one, Mr. Dacia Sandero. Not one bit. I think there's plenty of Manchester United fans that are well and truly with you right now on that one. So, getting into the news on what's actually happening with Marcus Rashford and where the situation is actually at right now, you have to look at the obvious. You have to look at where he's been linked before. We talked about this earlier on. We talked about this when we were on the transfer show earlier on today. It's a quick one, what was said as well. And you can see it going across the bottom of your screen. I don't want to pay much attention to this because this leads away from Marcus Rashford's comments on wanting to be part of the England squad. But MLS side Seattle Sounders have held internal discussions about a potential move for Marcus Rashford. That come from Ben Jacobs earlier on. I do think he will end up in LA or somewhere in the States with the glitz and glamour side of things. I think that's where he's destined to go. I think that's the lifestyle he likes. I think that's the glitz and glamour side of things that Marcus Rashford loves. So, yeah, I do think there is something in that. The other one, the interesting one, going back to PSG. Now, we did say earlier on today on the transfer update show that PSG are shown an interest. The talk was going on within the speculation sector back then, earlier on today, of them reinvesting their interest in taking Rashford. You can put 2 and 2 together. Maybe Muane leaving, and that's what we're talking about earlier on. But this has now come out again. Ben Jacobs has spilt the beans on this one. PSG are only willing to return to the table for Marcus Rashford if the player says he definitely wants to join and the price and wages are right. Is that not just an obvious statement? Yeah, I think you do want a player that wants to join you, and you do need to make sure that you can afford him. So, yeah, well done on that one. Great reporting on that one. But still, stating the obvious and making sure he's covering all bases. He goes on, Ben Jacobs, to say Manchester United's starting position on Marcus Rashford on day 1/2 of the January transfer window is, if you want Rashford, make an offer. And it's a minimum of 40 million. And that's gone down 10 from what we said on the transfer show earlier on today. But expect this to happen throughout the window now. Expect this to be the ongoing saga, which is Marcus Rashford. I think it's going to go on at least 2 weeks strong into the January transfer window, with loads of speculation coming about around Marcus Rashford. And we will see. We will see. And on that, you've got to just look at who has got the money. Who actually has got 40 million in January? I don't think there's anyone. Is there anyone clear of PSR right now or financial fair play in their own country or in their own league? I don't think there is. We talked about Arsenal being interested in Marcus Rashford. I think they're dead close to PSR right now, and I've spent up on theirs. They're willing to spend 25 million according to reports. I honestly don't know. I still think the loan with obligation is the best suited, and obviously that then would be down to Manchester United to put their own stipulations within that loan to make it work for them. But we'll see on that one. But I want to move on to what's happened next in terms of Rashford and what Chris Wheeler has been reporting. And this is another PR push for me, a big PR push, and you'll get this straight away. So Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mail has said Marcus Rashford has rejected 3 offers from the Saudi Pro League worth up to £35 million a year to him. You know what I'm going. You know which avenue I'm going down with this one. you know that it's him leaking this out, or Manchester United, whoever, leaking this out to Chris Wheeler and saying, can we get this out there that Marcus Rashford isn't chasing the money? That's what that looks like to me. Just straight off from seeing that headline, I already knew that Marcus Rashford didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. I think we've talked about this before. But the fact that he has to let everybody know about it and let everybody know that he's turned these deals down tells you exactly where his push is in all of this. It's PR push. It's PR. Nobody cares. Stop bothering. He's not playing for United because he can't be arsed training. That's all we know, and they're the only hard facts that we care about. You can feed information to the papers, to any publication or media that you want. It does not matter anymore. When are they going to realise that the fan base already have him figured out? And we have had for a long time. The nail in the coffin was the most dedicated and informed journalist around Manchester United for the last 20 years in Andy Mitten coming out and outing him on TalkSport. That was the final nail. There's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from organising Henry Winter to meet you at an event at a school where you're gifting presents and be the only journalist there and say you want a new challenge. There's no coming back from Andy Mitten throwing you under the bus about all of the managers that you have been a problem for in the past at this football club. There's no hiding away from the hardest fact of all, which is Ruben Amorim has outed you by not playing you when you're fully fit. We're not going to look at anything else. We're going to talk about it and probably laugh about it. I think the more interesting thing in this is that there is actually active movement from both sides to get him out of the door now. And that's what I'm not enjoying talking about it because it's an absolute shit show. Let's be honest. But I think this is important to talk about because there is significant movement from both sides, and what his PR are doing and what his people are doing and what Alex Crook has said in terms of gathering agencies and trying to force the move through any way that they possibly can. To Manchester United maybe leaking stuff out to the Daily Mail, or even Rashford's people leaking it out, talking about offers from Saudi Arabia, contact from the MLS. Obviously, we heard about Borussia Dortmund already today, about a loan with an option to buy, possibly. They would be willing to take him like they did with Jadon Sancho. PSG now in at the table again, saying that they would be willing to take Marcus Rashford. All of that, I feel, is significant movement for us, and we need to be talking about it. I think it's important that we remember in all of it as well that it's a player that doesn't want to be at Manchester United, and no matter what gets said in terms of him trying to cover what he said, we all know the truth now, and that's the best thing about it. John says, Adam, we have to sell Rashford for 25 million. His contract is worth about 50 million by the end. We get 25 and save 50 million. We can buy Alvaro. Fernandez then. I get that, yeah, but we do need another forward. And I think the club are just trying to gather as much money as they possibly can out of him. Or just do you know what I mean? Just suck out as much money as possible. So we can actually go and reinvest it into another player. That's where we're actually at right now with this one. And that has been reported that United are definitely going to go in for Gyökeres in the January transfer window. Things changed. Victor Gyökeres is a target for Manchester United in January. That story is just coming out over the last hour as well. And that story, I can just double check. It's come from Pedro Almeida, journalist, transfer market specialist, and that's come out on a few Manchester United aggregator accounts now on X as well. The Mirror were also talking about this earlier on today, and I think there was a story the day before as well that United have abandoned their sort of agreement with Sporting about not going in, or Ruben Amorim's agreement for not going in for players in the January transfer window at Sporting. We'll see on that one, but we cannot buy Gyökeres. We cannot buy him unless United move Rashford on anyway. That's what it comes down to. And it's important that Marcus Rashford is moved on so we can start to plan for Ruben Amorim. He's made it clear he doesn't want him, and he's made it clear that he needs someone else in. He's also made it clear that a lot of these players cannot play the way he wants to play. So we do need to start making moves where we possibly can. We're just fearful as a fan base right now that we've heard all of the financial news, everything that's going around Manchester United, around sponsorship deals, the possibility of relegation. We're a bit scared that we haven't got money to spend and we're not going to bring anyone in to help Ruben Amorim. He does need all the help he can get. And we are struggling right now. So, in terms of Rashford again, I'm coming to the comments in a minute. Saudi Arabia, 3 deals turned down by Marcus Rashford. That's not happening. We knew that anyway. Here's a cracker for you. This is the one that I've picked out the most. So, Paul Hurst from The Times has come out with this one. And Paul Hurst says that... I'm just going to bring it up now. Bear with me 1 second. Where is it? Yes, there we go. So Paul Hurst has said, Manchester United staff have been impressed by Marcus Rashford's application in training of late since being dropped. Bullshit! No, they have not. In fact, in the Times, the same newspaper, yes, Manchester United Chiefs have now said that it is time and are in agreement to sell Marcus Rashford. Same publication. Same day. Honestly, it's like talk about tripping yourself up. But no, I mean, I know what's been said around Manchester United staffing and about Manchester United. It's not that they've been impressed with Marcus Rashford, who is important. Like, honestly, when you say staff, who has been impressed with Marcus Rashford? The coaches? Well, they're on side with Ruben Amorim. And Ruben Amorim hasn't picked him. So, really, Ruben Amorim with his staff and his team that have been with him from the start of his career in management are with Ruben Amorim on the fact that Marcus Rashford isn't doing enough. And then all of a sudden this story comes out saying Manchester United staff. Who? What staff? Who cares? The only staff we care about, numero uno, and that's Ruben Amorim in the Manchester United dugout. And when he selects his team, he hasn't thought twice about putting Marcus Rashford back in. He has just left him out week after week after week. So this story from the Times saying that since he's been dropped, so we're going back to Manchester City, he was dropped, and they've been impressed with him since then. I'm sure I remember a game, I can't remember which one it was we lost, because we've lost all 4 since that game. But Ruben Amorim talking after a particular game, and the journalist asked Ruben Amorim the question. He said, Marcus Rashford isn't in the squad tonight. Has he impressed you? Has he been doing any extra in training? So on and so forth. He's not here. You make your own mind up about that. I'm sure them words came out of Ruben Amorim's mouth. And not exactly like that. Don't quote unquote me on that. But along them lines, Ruben Amorim said, he's not in the squad, so you figure it out yourself. Yeah, so apparently the staff have been impressed with Marcus Rashford since he's been dropped. No, they've not. He's not been in a team for the last 4 games. What are you talking about? So no, I'm not falling for that one either. But the same newspaper said that the Chiefs at Manchester United are all in agreement that it is the right time to sell Marcus Rashford now as well. Good God, like seriously, get your ship in order, please. Chris Wheeler has also said something along these lines, though. When he said that Marcus Rashford had turned down 3 Saudi Arabian offers from clubs in their Pro League, he also said he wants to stay in Europe because he wants to fight for his place in the England squad and be part of the 2026 World Cup with Thomas Tuchel. Yeah, of course he would. But we've touched on that already. If you're not playing, you're not going to be in that squad, which is why we know that everybody at United, which rolls into Alex Crooks's report about about Marcus Rashford's representatives actually going out of their way to join forces with other agencies to get this move done. They know that they need to get Rashford out of the door so he can be part of Tuchel's squad, because he's not part of Ruben Amorim's squad. But Chris Wheeler as well in the same report has said that United may listen to offers in January after Rashford missed the last 5 games. Players still open to staying at Old Trafford as well, though, and that he is waiting. Get this, he's waiting for Ruben Amorim to give him the call back, and then he is ready to give 100%. I'm sorry. That's just not happening. No one's falling for that one. I've said this before, Manchester United's most senior player who can't be asked training has sat there and watched his side lose the last 4 games. I'm sorry, no. No, not having it at all. I don't think Marcus Rashford's on board. I don't think that he wants to give 100%. And that's just using what we've seen before with Marcus Rashford. Like I said, the eye test tells you everything. The eye test is what you would always judge what is happening at Manchester United. And we see what happens. It's been an underperforming side, and Rashford has been part of one of Man United's worst ever sides, along with other players. Except they're willing to train and he's not. That's all there is to it. And that, for me, is why nobody's listening to anything when they report that Marcus Rashford wants to be back in this Man United side. He's waiting for the call from Ruben Amorim. I call bullshit on that one, big time. Let's get into the chat. You think there's a chance he actually goes Saudi even after these news? No, I don't think he will go Saudi, Ahmed. No, definitely not. Man United Planet, you can only cry wolf so many times. How the fans have reacted to Xerxes, spot on. Let's stop being patient and start being expecting. No, how the fans reacted to Xerxes isn't right. It's not his fault that these other players have been failing Manchester United. It's not right. Like, everyone can try and cover up the Xerxes booing and cheering off the pitch all they want. They can try and do that and say, look, it's just years of frustration, years of this club being mismanaged and underperforming players, and it was right, it was okay that Xerxes got booed off the pitch. But they didn't say it was right. They said it's not right and then tried to make an excuse after it to say, oh, it's just frustrations. No, it's wrong. As simple as. Stop trying to backtrack on it. It's wrong that Xerxes was booed off the pitch. It's not his fault that the last 3 years of recruitment have been completely pissed up the wall. It's not his fault that the senior players at Manchester United can't be asked training or down tools and spat the dummy out because they can't get their way with another manager. He's come into a melee, an absolute sham at Manchester United, and he's struggling like every other new signing struggles after a few years. He was the wrong player. And it's not right to boo him off the pitch. He shouldn't have been signed in the first place if he wasn't good enough. So, yeah, using him as a scapegoat and everything that happened, anyone who's trying to say that it was just frustration is completely covering up the main issue here right now, and that the Man United fans were booing Xerxes off the pitch because he'd had a poor first 30 minutes against Newcastle. That's all it was. That's all it was. They weren't happy with Xerxes in many other games. There's been moans and groans throughout the stadium when Xerxes played about him being shit and not good enough. I've been sat there. I know what it is. So when I'm sat in the stadium, I know what's being said. Don't listen to anybody trying to tell you that it's actually all right and it's what should be happening at a stadium. No. Stupid response from me. Look, I get frustrations. That's fine. But that's not what that was. That was fans actively booing off a player that had a poor 30 minutes. And it wasn't right in what happened. It wasn't at all. So, yeah, just to cover up on that one. But not saying you can only cry wolf and everything you said there, mate. You're dead right. Like, in terms of Rashford, that's where our frustrations should be going. And that's why he's getting it. Double barrel right now from all Man United fans. And no one's falling for the crap that's coming out. Almost at the 400 live like mark. Please get them likes in, everybody. Let's get over 500. Let's get as many as we can on the show tonight. Well over 1,800 in the room, everybody. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button and like the video, please, everyone. Loving the commitment from everyone in the chat right now in the comments. Let's just see what else we've got in here. Where are we at now? Rashford needs to go. In addition to burning the bridge with the fans, he's cancer in the locker room. A lot of people going on the influence that he's having with other players as well. The problem with United is entitled, underperformed, idiotic fans and management. No, the fans, I think, have got a right to say what they want, FB Music. Like, we watch Manchester United underperform and pay a fortune to watch it. That, for me, is definite grounds to actually have a bitch and a moan and feel like you're being hard done to. Yeah, we've had glory years. Yeah, we've had loads of success. And people look at Manchester United fans and say, look, you've never been through the hard times. I'm sorry, look, like, it changes. There's different levels to it. Manchester United are paying a lot more money than a lot of other fans in the Premier League right now to watch absolute shite. We're bitching and moaning about players that have told us to shut up, stop complaining. You know what I mean? Get behind me If you don't get behind me, even better. We've got players like this actually coming out and attacking the fans. No, I'm sorry. The amount of money that you're on, the amount of times that you've actually thrown the opportunity of being a Manchester United legend away, or even a player for that matter away, it's not going to lie with this fan base anymore. Yet the management has been a problem, definitely. But no, not the fans. Definitely not the fans. The fans are some of the best in the country at getting behind their team, which is why it was so sort of obvious with the Xerxes incident that they had just literally gone in on one player, because they always back their team at the games. Yeah, there's boos at half-time, boos when results are not going well, but it's never at a player. And that was so obvious because of that there and what happened, and which is why I've gone in on strong on the defence of Joshua Xerxes on that. He's not good enough for United, but he doesn't deserve to be booed off the pitch. And you know what? Like, people who would say, yeah, look at how much money these players have played. Look, it's his first 6 months at a football club. And his career right now, because of this, could just fall off the cliff. If you're a player and your agent has filled you in properly like he should do about what Manchester United is like, and you go into this club and you know the pitfalls. It's hard to turn United down, but you take a risk. Look at all the players that have come and fallen away. His career could just fall away now completely after 6 months at Manchester United. It's hard to take. No matter how much money you're on, that's him done. Like, he's not going to get another big contract again. And Manchester United could have pretty much killed it for him. Hopefully he gets to revive his career, maybe in Italy with Motta in Juventus or wherever he moves on. It's not going to happen at Manchester United. It won't. Amorim must put himself between losing the job and what he wants. Rashford can go, and Rashford and co are very, very poor. My God, may God help us. Sorry. Xerxes was awful, and the manager made a mistake, but he corrected it. He made a mistake in starting him, I think, in the game. He did rectify it. He did do what he had to do, and United did get a bit more stability from that substitution when Mainu came on. And it was just unfortunate for Xerxes that he was on the other end of it. There are many players that I wish were getting the shit ahead of Joshua Xerxes right now, because I think that is fair. Look, I need to move on from the Rashford saga and everything like that. We have more news to talk about, actually, and more to get into with other players at Manchester United. But keep your comments coming in on everything. I will come up to all comments and try and bring up as many as possible. Remember, if you haven't had your comment read out in the live chat, make sure that you do get your comments in later on down below on the comment section on everything we've spoken about here on the show tonight. Harry Maguire, listen to this one. This one is check this out, and you know what? I'm going to come straight to the chat on this one. Actually, no, quickly. I've just got an update come through right now. Just want to read through everything as it comes through so I don't forget it. Despite the perilous financial situation Manchester United find themselves in, conversations are ongoing between the club and representatives of transfer targets, so that if funds do become available this month, they can move quickly to get the deal done. So United are making deals off the back of possibly moving players on. Not hopeful then. It's not, is it? Because no one wants to buy our players at the moment, it would seem. Which is why we're talking about Harry Maguire next. Oh, God, listen to this one. It's come James Ducker in the Telegraph. Manchester United are reluctant to trigger the 12-month extension on Harry Maguire's existing £190,000 a week wage, but are instead in talks with the defender over a new deal. Oh, for God's sake. Seriously, Sir Jim, this is how you counter penny pinching off the pitch. Penny pinching on it. So, instead of keeping Harry Maguire for the one more year, and then he goes, look, there is reason behind this. Like, obviously, there could be a point where United say, we could actually sell Maguire if he's on a longer contract. We could get more money for him than what we would get if we triggered that 1 year extension. But that's not what's happening. You look at Harry Maguire's age. How much are you realistically going to get for Maguire if you keep him on another contract and then he plays out another year? You might as well let him go on a free bleeding transfer next year and just trigger that 1 year. But to save a little bit of money, Manchester United are looking to give a 30-plus-year-old an extension of more than a year just because they can bring his wages down a little bit. Like, you are not convincing anyone right now, Ineos, with what you are doing. The penny pinching aspect of their whole ownership right now is destroying the fan base's confidence. And to do this with a player as well in his 30s, like, how much are you going to go down to? Like, I've said this before, look, if Harry Maguire wants to go on really low wages, then I'm happy for him to stay. But I don't feel like that's the case with Ineos right now. It's like, just give him that extra year. It just seems like it's penny pinching again. And do you know what? My mind's probably been changed from what I originally said about Maguire. If he wants to take a big pay cut and stay, maybe give him a new deal. I mean, that would take him off his new deal, off his old deal of 190. I mean, how much is he going to take? Is it not a case right now that United should be looking to spend a bit of money to get better players, because these other players that are in the squad right now are not good enough? You're not convincing anyone by getting Harry Maguire signed up to a new deal, is what I'm saying right now. And again, like, the talk of this happening, I kind of expected it. But then after everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks since I last spoke about Maguire's contract situation, it's kind of made me feel like this is just to save money again. And it's just... the penny pinching aspect is starting to really start off nag right now, isn't it? It really is starting to drag us down a little bit. And I just don't think the fans are going to be convinced by it. I mean, are you happy with Harry Maguire having a contract extension? Would you want him on a 2 to 3 year deal on less money, still being at the club, and we're not going to be able to make any money off him either way? Or 1 more year on 190 and then he leaves for free, knowing that he's definitely going to go? What would you rather have? I know there's a lot of people that would actually say, I'd like Harry Maguire as a squad player. I've said this before, though. I think United need to be looking at rectifying the starting 11 and then dealing with the squad after that. It's just... that one just shouts out to me, again, stingy. That's what that does. Like, I get that you want to keep Maguire. He's been all right for Ruben Amorim, and just all right. I mean, the last 2 games, let's be honest, he's been shit. And... it's the same old thing, isn't it? A good few games, you get a little bit of hope, and you sort of feel like you're being convinced again that there is something there in a player, and then they just fall off again. And we can never get a consistent spell of games from players like Maguire. It's been the same with a lot of Man United defenders. It really has. Almost at 500 likes. We have over 2,000 people in the room. Mega again. I'm coming into the comment section right now. Let's get some in. Milam says, completely disagree. The players have nowhere to turn now. This is much needed and long overdue. That was replying to Brett's comment earlier on. I'm guessing that some people are actually thinking that this and the whole what's going on scenario right now with United's players is a bad thing as well. Look, I understand everyone's angle on this. Like, some people are concerned and think, let's just get through the season and survive, and then maybe look at it again in the summer. I think that's where a lot of people are actually at with it right now, and they're thinking survival, I think, more than anything. And there's a lot of people that are just saying, no, that's it, done. Players have been outed right now. Let's continue this. This is what's been needed for years. So yeah, it is important to look at both sides of it, and I do get both. We need to be rid of the Glazers. Ineos may have a chance. I know it won't happen, but we haven't changed. Just shifted the focus. We stooped to new lows when we asked Man City to let Garnacho jump on a flight to Paris. Yeah, I remember reporting that one. 100% Adam, we need better players. The current squad aren't very good, average and overpaid. Move them out as soon as you get the chance. And again, that's it with Maguire. Like, if this had happened, let's just say, at the end of the season and we've done all right, the fact that Maguire's been part of this failing side over the last few games as well isn't helping his cause right now. And everybody's looking at every single Man United player in this squad right now and really not giving a toss. I mean, to be honest, the bigger concern is the fact that we don't know right now, but Ahmad could be talking to another club right now. He's officially open into his last 6 months of his deal and could be negotiating with another football club to leave the club for nothing. That could be happening right now. Harry Maguire might even be doing the same thing. But we're hearing that Harry Maguire is getting a new deal. One of the players that has been failing this football club are part of the issue over the last few years. And we have to say that, whether you think that's been harsh on him or not, you have to say he's been part of it. We've got him being negotiated for a new deal to stay. And you've got Ahmad with no news. one of the brightest prospects at the football club right now, and one of the shining beacons of hope, and he hasn't got a deal yet. Oh man, this club is backwards, honestly. Is it not? Like, it's so frustrating being a United fan and how we work right now. Look, the best, like, saying it now, 2nd of January, the window's just open. The best outcome for Manchester United this window is to sell Eriksen and Victor Lindelof, because Amorim isn't going to use them. I think that's been made clear. And definitely after Eriksen's performance against a robust, energetic midfield like Newcastle's, definitely not. Honestly, I think selling Eriksen, no, actually, do you know what? I think I've changed my mind on it a little bit. I think I would sell Casemiro because you might get money for him. You can't get money for Eriksen. It's pointless selling him. It really is. 2.5 million were reported earlier this morning that Ajax want to sign him for. Like, I understand getting wages off the books, but that's not going to save you nothing. Like, Casemiro, you could sell him and bring a wing back in. I think I'd sell him, I'd keep Eriksen and let him go for free. Lindelof, see you later. Sling your hook. Bayendale will go as well. Move Marcus Rashford on by any means. I mean, loan with obligation, loan with option. Just get him out the club. Gone. Deal with that. Possibly try and get a left wing back in. And that's it. That's the best that you can hope for. And I said it this morning as well. I said Antony is more valuable to Manchester United right now than Marcus Rashford is. Who'd have thought we'd be saying that about a year ago? Oh, man, like, seriously. What a year it has been for Manchester United 2024. For us to be sat here on the 2nd of January talking about trying to scrape deals together, maybe turning down offers for Marcus Rashford in the region of 25 million. Oh my God, like, what a year. And it all started this time last year with Marcus Rashford going on that bender in Belfast and pissing his career completely up the wall. And from that moment, it has gone completely south, hasn't it? Let's get some more comments in. No future in any of our backline bar Mazraoui. I don't think as good as De Ligt has been. I think he's too slow on and off the ball to last in the Premier League. Let's see. Why can't we just let him leave on a free this year? Why extend his contract when he needs replacing? That's on Maguire as well. A few people talking about Maguire. The Dark Muppet Rises. Maguire somewhat redeemed himself after the captaincy was taken from him, but don't leave a sour taste in our mouths, in the mouths of the fans. Time to go, Harry. Maguire is off to BP to advise how to turn an oil tanker around. Amorim, is that Ahmad? The only one fed up. Am I the only one fed up, sorry, with all the relegation talk? No, Babs, you're not. Nobody wants to be talking about relegation. And I think the talk of January and strengthening United in the hope that we can salvage something in the season is what we need to be focusing on rather than that. But as defeats keep coming into our games, it's hard not to think worst case scenario with United right now. And that's the problem we've got. I mean, we can't get away from it. And if we lose to Liverpool at weekend, which is expected, then we go out to the FA Cup against Arsenal, which is expected, where are we going to be at? Like, the team is not convincing us. It's hard for us to talk positive when we keep on losing every single week, and we're sat here talking about it week after week after week about underperforming players, and we get the transfer news, and we get a bit of hope, and I hope this is how it continues. Radred says there is no evidence he went on a bender. Strange how white players can do the same. No evidence? Do the same without being constantly targeted this way. I expect you will be running for reform soon. Did you see the videos? Did you see the pictures? Did you see him coming into Carrington with his entourage to try and say sorry and get back in the side? I mean, where was you? Was you living under a rock, man? No evidence. God, there's pictures. The Athletic run it, for God's sake. My God, so say some people would love to bring that sort of aspect and that narrative into anything that's football related. We're not having any of it on here, mate. So you can do one with that angle of things. Jesus Christ. When the news came out that Ineos, led by Scrooge McDuck, won the takeover race, I know that nothing good would happen, but never expected this. Battling relegation? Whew, yeah. Evening Adam, just subbed. Thank you, Andy Cole, you legend. And yeah, actually, on that note, talking about Andy Cole, make sure that you do get into our draw this week. 39p a ticket. You get the chance to win an Andy Cole signed shirt, all fully authenticated. Also in the draw, Rooney, Ryan Giggs as well. Proper forward legends of this football club. Get into that draw. The link is in the description, everybody. One of the mods will pop it in the live chat as well for you right now. 39p a ticket. Just go and grab yourself 5 tickets. You might get lucky on that one. The draw is coming on Friday. Actually, that's tomorrow, isn't it? So yeah, do please get your tickets now for that one. 39p a ticket. You don't want to miss that one. Be in the chance to win some proper legend shirts there of Manchester United players gone by. Oh, God, what I would give to have any one of them free in our team right now. In fact, actually, just go into the chat right now. Giggs, Rooney, Andy Cole. Who would you take right now at Manchester United? Who fits Ruben Amorim's side? Which one of them 3 players would you bring into Manchester United right now? Go to the chat live. Get in there right now. Talk to me, people. Let's have a bit of a game before we finish up. Let's try and cheer ourselves up, eh? I'm going to pin that actual comment up for you right now. There we go. That's in the live chat, everybody, if you want to have a go. Okay, here we go. Adams, Rooney, Giggs, Rooney, Cole, Rooney. That's God, love it. Go on, Wazar, lad. Get in there. Yeah, I would take out of all of their primes. I mean, prime Giggs is hard to turn down, but he's an out-and-out winger, innit? I'd take Wazza. I'd take prime Wayne Rooney out of them 3 right now. Oh, but God, give me that player right now, or someone with that attitude. I think every other contender in the Premier League has got someone like that right now in their team. They do, don't they? I'd take any of them right now just for that professionalism side of things. Well over 2,000 in the room still with us. Absolutely buzzing with that, guys. Over 600 likes. Let's see if we can get that up to 700 before we finish, everyone. Come on. Let's have it, people. Let's get that up. We want 1,000 likes on this video by the time it's finished, I think. I think we'll definitely get that. You've all been legends, actually. Adam, I'd take Christy Brown right now. With the formation, Wazza definitely, Millam, yep, I agree. Rooney would KO his best mate for the badge. He would. Oh, God. Adam, would you take a minus 10-point deduction next season if it meant more signings in January? Yes, I've already said I would. I think necessary is like, look, I feel like if we get a better team in, and this is wrong in me saying this, it really is, but it's just out of desperation. And I made a jest and a joke about it. I'd take the 10 points, but really I shouldn't be saying it. It's not right. I don't want to do it, but just for like off the cuff sort of like banter talk, I would definitely do what we possibly could to just get a better team in right now and salvage something. It's getting to embarrassing levels for this football club right now when we need to be able to compete. We're looking to cling on to mid-table football right now, Manchester United. And that's the reality where we're at. That's our mark. That's our goal this season now, to get back to mid-table. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? Just recap on all of the news if you have just joined us as well. Marcus Rashford came out in social media, obviously, the other day saying he's not gone with any other agency to try and manipulate a move away. TalkSport and Alex Crook have come out and completely poo-pooed that, saying Marcus Rashford may not have said or done that, but his representatives, which he knows are doing, and they have contacted other agencies to try and get a move away from United as quickly as possible. Apparently he has had contact from the MLS. He's turned down 3 Saudi Arabia offers already. PSG are interested, but they want him to come out and tell them that he wants to go to PSG. Dortmund would do a loan deal for Marcus Rashford. Arsenal can't afford him. And the reality is we aren't going to make a lot of money off Marcus Rashford in January. The big idea, I think, is from the football club, and the big push is loan with option or obligation, hoping he finds form, and then United can get better value for him in the summer. But there are some other reports as well. No matter what the state of Manchester United finances, we are still actively chasing players in the transfer window to come in. There is one more story I want to get onto before we actually do finish the show as well, and that's on Harry and Mass. That situation has escalated as well regarding Harry and Mass and what's actually going on at the football club with him right now. Let's just see what he says here. I've got it up in front of me from Manchester United Academy. Says, exclusive, Leicester City are interested in signing Harry Mass on loan from Manchester United this January transfer window. However, an offer hasn't been put on the table yet amid interest from Championship and League One clubs as well. He goes on to tell you the story and the backdrop of what was actually happening and why we've not seen Harry Mass as much. Before Amarim's arrival, Harry Mass was in line for his debut with Erik ten Hag, promising him he'll be given his chances, but his chances have dropped since the departure of Erik. To add to that, the new left wing-back is a priority in 2025, while the addition of Diego Leon provides direct competition at the club. It will be interesting to see what is done after Harry Mass's loan, especially in the summer. As revealed by other major outlets, Manchester United want to loan out the 17-year-old left-back this window, as well as other names such as Dan Gore and Ethan Wheatley if good opportunities arrive. So that is the report from our academy side as well. Harry Mass wanted by Ruud van Nistelrooy. Maybe seeing Harry Mass play in the Prem could be a good thing for us. I don't want to look at that and I go, yeah, that's definitely something that I would like to see happen. I want to see him get first team football. That's what I want. I want to see him actually playing in some proper games. He's not going to get it at United right now. Let's be honest. He's not going to get it. So let's look at what is the best alternative for Harry Mass. And that is going to another club and getting proper first team football. And hopefully they pick the right club. Is Ruud the right man? He knows him. He knows what's needed at United. Will he get the game time? We will see. Just United and their recruitment side and their academy staff need to make sure that these academy players are given the right loans, not just willy-nillys going anywhere. We need to make sure that they're given the proper loans and they are in the best positions, at the best clubs, to go forward and help them progress. And maybe we'll see in the summer then what does happen. God knows what this summer's going to be like anyway. That's that. It's a good move for Amas. More of our youth need to get loans and not thrown in the first team. Same path as Ahmad took. It's way better in the long term. Definitely feel. Honestly, I agree with that one. Well said, United Spotlight. And on that one, we are done, everybody. I will be back first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock. Make sure you tuned in. Anything that happens overnight or late on, we do get a lot of updates through the late nights, ready for the morning reports. So make sure you tuned in. Thank you all our new subscribers again. We've had a load more while we've been live. Welcome anybody who's new. Keep your notifications on. 8 o'clock in the morning, we are back with more updates. Third show of the day done. Thank you, everybody. Like the video on the way out, so that will get us to near 800 live likes. Thank you, everyone. And get your comments in after the video is finished. But for now, that is us all wrapped up and done. Cheers, everybody.